There's no one else who loves me like you used to. Sometimes we're not ourselves. There's no one I can turn to. And I know all the feelings that we shared out in the past. And I know your relationships are never meant to last. And I'll take some time, but I'll be alright. We're moving on. We're moving on. I know times are
What is the measure of a full life? Is it seizing the day? Appreciating the little things? Family, joy, love, no regrets. At Ryman, we believe a full life is one that gets richer with age, with communities that challenge the expectations of aging and bring joy and meaning to every moment.
Wherever I am in the world, there's a Henselite bowl for you. On all surfaces, all conditions, the grip, the comfort in the hand, fantastic bowl to play with.
Hello and welcome to the Bowls New Zealand coverage of the Foxplan Bowls Wellington Champion of Champions finals weekend for this season, which is the 23-24 one. We're finally at the at the end. We're at round 6 and we bring you the over 60 singles final. Alison Stacey from the Hutt Bowling Club taking on Paul, how do I say the last name, Blake?
Paul Cavey.
Paul Cavey from Petone Central. My name is Alex Reid, and as you can hear, I'm joined in commentary by Blake Signal for this one. Blake, how's this weekend gone?
Yeah, look, it's been a challenge to schedule everything over the course of the weekend, but it's actually gone really, really well. So we're really happy with how everything's panned out.
Very good. I think I see there's 11 events that have been decided over the weekend.
I think we ended up with 12.
12.
Yeah. So it's been a really, really challenging sort of schedule. This over 60s event was actually played a few weeks ago, and we decided that we'll chuck that in there as well as all the other champion of champion, the 11 champion of champion events. So yeah, it's been a challenge to sort of schedule all the games and get everyone playing right. We've had a number of players play multiple games, but yeah, we've sort of got it right.
Very good. So the over 60s events, is that something that Bowls Wellington's been doing for a while?
No, this is the first time we've ever run over 60s event in Wellington. We did used to have veterans fours, but we decided that would change everything to 60 plus, and we ran a singles, a pairs, as well as the fours as well. So.
How's that been received by the players?
Really, really good. You know, we've had really good entries. Yeah, a lot of players have really enjoyed having this as an option for them to play in. So, yeah, no, really, really happy. The pairs attracted a really good entry, and the singles, it's been fantastic and great to see. You know, we've made these events open gender, and it's great to see a lady in the final here. Playing Paul, so yeah.
For sure, and scoring 2 on the first end, Alison Stacey. Race to 21, so it's just the normal conditions, is it, for the over 60s?
Yeah, like normal, yep, 21 up. No time limit in the final, of course, so yeah, like, normal game of bowls, basically, yeah.
Alison here, on the forehand. Nice conditions, really. It's been quite pleasant temperature-wise in the Nine Bowling Club today.
It has, yeah, a little bit warmer than yesterday, which was good.
Yeah, I wasn't unhappy. We were in a very warm commentary booth, to be fair.
It is a lot warmer. I might have to take a jersey off after. Alison's one of those players that have been really busy over the course of the weekend here, been in 3 events. So she lost the final of the fours earlier this morning, so she'll be really rapt to be able to make the final of this, I think.
we've seen a lot of play on this rink. I think it's actually, I don't know if it's to do with the weather or what, but the rink's playing quite nicely, nicer today than it was yesterday. We had a straightener on the ditch hand, which is to the right as you see it yesterday, and I haven't noticed it so much today. For whatever reason, it might be the bowls that people are using or the fact that the weather's slightly different, but it hasn't been sort of snaky on that hand. So we've seen players be happy to play either today.
Yeah, look, it can also always cause a few issues playing on a ditch rink, especially as a finals rink, but I think this facility and these rinks here are all pretty good. Like, you might find the odd little straightener here and there, but and I did consult with club expert Robbie Bird before the weekend, and he assured me that it should be okay. So
yeah, it's been fine. And it wasn't bad yesterday. I think I was in commentary with maybe Wendy Mackey. We discussed it. It's more that if you do miss your line, you might get punished a bit more on that side than the other one, but it's still a bowl that has missed. You've missed. You just get punished a bit more with the misses, I think.
yeah, look, yeah.
Not bad from Paul.
No, it seems to be taking nice green out that side.
Alison defeated Linda Rayner in her semi-final. I think I saw it. Was quite a good game we were watching. Linda picked up a 4 to get close, and then Alison just sort of took off again. I think it was 17-16 with the 4, and then I'm not sure if Linda scored another shot.
Right. Yeah, I haven't been able to watch a hell of a lot over the weekend. Busy trying to make sure everything's running all okay. But yeah, Linda's a very good bowler, and Alison's had a very good season this year, so no surprises, it was a very good game.
No one's mucking around here. Yeah, it's still going. What do you reckon that is, Blake?
Well, it's definitely 2. I always like to think the more level bowl will be closer, but I think it might only be 2.
Yeah, yep, just the 2 there. So 2 apiece on the race at 21. And the players still sort of, the first 4 or 5 hands is usually settling down time, isn't it?
Yeah, look, and they've both come off another rink, so that's just learning the rink and trying to find your lines on that. The speed generally is pretty consistent across the green here at 9i, so I wouldn't mind betting that their weight control's not too bad early, but they'll just be trying to find those right lines, I think.
On the back end.
Very good start. That's what you want as a singles player, to really get that first bowl in that effective zone, and you can tell there with the 3-5s circles from last week, it's definitely right in that good zone for Paul there.
Just quickly into her work, Alison Stacey. Yeah, well played, good shot. Can see how these 2 are contesting the final.
Indeed, yeah, Paul really went out and dominated his semi-final and won that quite convincingly, I think. So he's obviously in some good nick, and Alison, like I say, has been playing plenty, so she should be in for a good game, hopefully.
Oh, already these 3 bowls on this end are lovely. It's a well-played bowl by Paul. Unlucky that it sat that way, not the other, really.
Yeah, it's a game of mills, isn't it?
Yeah. So often we see that. It's nice to have a chat to Fox Plan man.
Steve, yeah.
Steve, the previous game. A centre title holder now.
Wow, this is a great head.
Beautiful
straight
bowl.
away.
What a
Look
shot.
at this. Love it. Yeah, look, Steve's a big supporter of Bowls Wellington, and we're really lucky to have Fox Plan as our key sponsor for Bowls Wellington. their support is really important to us in these tight financial times. So I recommend to all the bowlers around Wellington to definitely get to one of his seminars. He's got a few coming up over the winter. He's really his company's a fantastic company to go through, and I've been lucky enough to utilise Fox Plan a couple of times already. In the process of buying a house, so yeah, look, he's they've got financial advice for everything. It's fantastic.
And easy to contact as well.
Yeah, look, yeah, if you can't find him, which would be pretty hard, I've got him everywhere on the website, I think. But if you can't find him, give us a call at Bowls Wellington, and I'll put you in the right direction there.
Oh, this is an unbelievable head.
Yeah. Tea towel stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, question is there anything to hit? I'm not sure if there is.
Oh, maybe the middle orange.
Yeah, I'm scared it shears off the... I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I might straighten back up off the other orange and then get onto the jack.
Yeah.
Steve Paul, sorry, will be disappointed because he's somehow 2 down. Like he just punched that blue bowl in.
His third bowl probably needed to be past the head. He would probably be a bit disappointed that he didn't get over the head. Give himself some more options, but I definitely think there'll be some weight played here.
Looking on the forehand, maybe the outside bowl of Allison's would clear a lot of them away. Very controlled weight.
Yeah.
So that weight would suggest maybe he was thinking his collision bowl might follow through
a
and
little
do
bit
something.
Through the split there and follow through. I'll be honest, I haven't watched a lot of Paul play before, so I don't know if he's got a big drive.
He said he started playing bowls in 2016 at Upper Hutt. Doesn't yet have a centre title, but has a couple of club titles at Petone, the club pairs and the club triples.
Yeah. Well, I think he plays a little bit with Steve Dipford, and
Oh yes, yep.
you'll see in the background there just before young James McMillan. I think he's played with James in the odd event as well. So
Look how tight these 7 bowls are.
yeah,
Essentially all within the circle that's very conveniently placed there.
brilliant.
Great stuff. And it'll be 2 to Alice and Stacey on that end. So 4-2 the score now in the race at 21.
Yeah.
Paul just doing some mathematics.
Yes. It's great to have Linda mark the final here after losing the semi-final. It's she's had a busy day too because she played a triples game in the morning as well. So
She won the Champ Pairs this time last year, was it? Or
yes, it was.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Trevor Rayner sprinted onto the...
I do remember
the
that
green.
actually. Yes, yeah. It was a great year for the Tawa Club last year in the Champion of Champions because their men won the triples as well. So not quite as successful this year. They did play the final of the fours, obviously. Just going down to the Stokes Valley side.
How's the weight? Quite a short end. That's a good bowl. Be
Well, I think you're going to have to be drawing within a couple of feet to get on top of Alison here. She's found her zone pretty well.
That's how it's feeling. So a little surprised to see Paul's left arm go flying in the air. There, I'll have to keep an eye on it, see if it's part of his delivery, if it was just a one-off.
Yeah, generally tells you that he might be a little bit off balance.
Yeah.
So, had a good talk with Paul yesterday afternoon, and he's actually an 8-time marathon runner. And led the London Marathon, believe it or not. I can't tell you the year. It was a wee while ago though, but and ended up running it in 2 hours 30 minutes. So he's a fit man.
It's quite impressive.
It is, yeah. He said he's got the videotape of him running the marathon, and apparently he was on pace to do it in 2 hours 18 or something, which was top 10 in the world at the time there. So we're probably talking about the 80s, I think.
Slightly more genteel sport of bowls now for Paul.
Yeah.
Well, you can underrate the endurance required, can't you, when it comes to days and days of bowls? Fitness is helpful.
Well, the fitter I've got in my life, the better I sort of feel playing the sport. It's unreal. It sort of coincided with a bit of a return of form for me recently, and I'm probably the fittest I've been in my life. So
Sort of the amount of good bowls you can play increases, doesn't it? It's not that the ceiling goes up necessarily, but instead of having like one amazing game, you can go game on game on game a bit more.
yeah, look, it's the endurance of being able to play multiple games over multiple days, and that's where that endurance and fitness comes in. And this is a great shot.
This
here.
is a great singles game. It's
and
gone.
that fell down too.
Just about to talk about the plant. What a shot. What do you see on here for Alison Blake?
Well, it's
not easy.
No, it's not. It's almost take your medicine. Sometimes it's okay to drop a one. You just put another one in the area. Tell you what, she's not a mile away here from. Little edge off that orange might have been interesting.
So Paul, you can see there, there's a very, very back bowl, but not really anything in a catching position for Allison. So he'll just pick a hand to.
Interesting,
put a
he's
bonus
changed
on.
hand here.
It was safe enough to draw a bonus on the back end, you'd think.
I would have thought so, and he just played a front toucher, so yeah.
Just nervous for whatever reason.
Yeah. Sometimes people get in their head that they need to change their hand after, because they can't see the kitty on that hand. But yeah, if he'd got to his bowl, he would have made two. So
One in the end, and 3-4 the score. See how far the jack goes up the rank this time. Be interesting to see the first. Stop, Linda. Be interesting to see which one of them is the first to deliver the jack to that full length and have the. You can stretch it right out on this 40-metre green.
yeah. Yeah, it's it puts a lot of people off when you go 2-2 on this screen, because it is so big, and especially for our Wellington players that don't get around the country much. We've got nothing like it in Wellington. Most of our big greens are 36 metres, so you're talking a lot.
Oh, lovely
lot
start.
bigger. Very good.
Both seem like they're on fire.
Yeah.
So Allison will follow that down on the back end. Good line. So Bowls Wellington, does this mark a close to your season, Blake, or is there some stuff to come? How's it work?
Yeah, look, we've it's pretty much the close for the main part of the season. We do have a little bit of winter events, mainly for our younger bowlers. But yeah, this will cap off all of our major events for the year. So it's really good to get it all over in a weekend like this.
Yeah.
I think these finals weekends are absolutely great for clubs because you'll notice there's been numerous people come and support over the course of the weekend, and it's really, really good to see that.
Feels like the way to go for me. I think it makes a lot of sense. I've spoken about it with the other commentary parts of the commentary team, but often when you have an event that just runs itself out, the only people left at the end are the two finalists and the umpire. That's all you get to watch the final. So I think it's wonderful to have this finals weekend where it's sort of on show.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I always remember before I moved to Australia, I won a champion and champion fours, and there was literally 9 people at the presentation, which was our 4, the opposition 4, and the person presenting the trophy to us. So yeah, look, it's been really good to see all the club members from around Wellington come and support. and we're really lucky in Wellington that we've got a really good bowls community, you know, that really do like to get out and support all of our events.
It's a good head building here for Paul. Ellison would have loved for that bowl to have just either been...
A bowl tighter
Yeah.
would have been lovely, and
Yeah.
just come and get down to that orange.
Paul probably get the vibe he's just going to draw for 4 and see if Ellison will blink.
Yep.
Needs it to break back from there. It should do. Yeah, nice bowling.
This is interesting. In the male game, you'd probably expect a lot of weight on the forehand here, and try to maybe pop that kitty back or clear out some bowls, and it'll be interesting to see what Ellison does here.
Draw a side toucher in about 20 seconds, I would say. It's coming out nicely. She's very close here.
Oh, she's just got to miss that orange.
Either side of it. Oh, that's a well-played bowl. She's unlucky there.
A little bit unlucky for sure.
It's going to be a full count to Paul, I would say. 1. Yeah, that's the bowl that looked like it was furthest away.
Yeah.
2. Surely.
Well, it looks definite from here, but
Well, they've taken 2 out, so Paul will find what he thinks is Allison's closest bowl. And just checking that he's allowed to move that one, and he'll measure that and then go against the 2 oranges. I see he's got one of those old measures with the score
a score on
the
it.
score dial on the side.
Yeah. That was one of my first measures.
And they last well. You still see them around.
Yep.
I had a Henselock. I had the white Henselock measure with the yellow tape, which I actually don't like that much.
Yep.
Come across nicer measures in my time. So we'll just see what that was. So it was at least 2, and I stopped paying attention.
I think it was the 4.
6-4 is the score, so it must have been a 3.
3. So the back one might not have been in.
Good in there from Paul.
Yes. Yeah, well, I see they're really into these digital measures now, aren't they?
Yeah, they've become a thing, quite popular in Australia now, the digital measures. I like them for anything that's longer than an arm's length, because I think you could get down and measure out to an arm's length very quickly in bowls. We all know how to measure.
Yep.
You can do it quickly and accurately out to an arm's length. But
Yep.
once you start asking, okay, well, I'll hop on the measure and you go and grab it, I think that's when we become inaccurate in bowls.
Yeah.
So laser measures for more than a metre, I'm sold on.
Yep.
I'm yet to be convinced that they should be used for an arm's length measure. I think the tape has worked for 200 years and there's nothing wrong with
and
it.
there's nothing wrong with the tape. I know in Australia, when they umpire, they have to measure with a different device to what the players have used. So they quite often...
Okay.
You might have... I don't know if you've ever seen them. They put a little...
The orbital.
The orbital thing, yeah. So that took a while when I first moved over there to see the umpires come in and they're fiddling around and you're like, shivers, how many times are they moving that kitty? But yeah, look, so if it stops that, I'm all for it. But yeah, look, I know Robbie Bird. He's in partnership with Bowl Specialist, and they've got the 90 Bowl shop now here
cool.
at 90. So if you need any bowling gear, come down to 90 Bowling Club and have a look. And I know Robbie's keen to try and see if we can get these digital measures out and about.
Yeah, they're cool. They're fine to be used as well. Umpires won't use them in New Zealand, but there's no rule against using a laser measure in New Zealand. I think we released some guidance on that 2 or 3 years ago when the one that became popular in Australia, his name's escaped me, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We released some guidance, so you're fine to use it to make a decision. Umpires won't, but players can in a game. It's all good. And they are very accurate, and they're good over long distance.
For sure, yeah. So Robbie's really keen to get them into the shop, and I think if you're interested, come down and have a talk to Robbie Bird. He'll put you in the right direction there. Well, Allison's followed up here very, very well.
Yeah. Going good, both of
Yes.
these players.
They are. Always key to try and pick up the next end if you've either dropped or picked up a number. That's always my goal. If you picked up a 3, you really want to try and score another straight away to really cement that little break. And if you've dropped one, you really want to try and just...
It works both ways that you look at it, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. And when I'm playing team games, I'm always very, very aware of making sure my players understand that, we've just picked up a 4 or a 5.
Now's not
the time to relax. We've really got to get into it.
Not the time to blink. So Paul's added another shot there, so Alison will play on her forehand side. Was close with her second bowl, so it's not a huge correction required. Oh, just going to go on the outside of the 2 oranges now.
Who's holding there, do you think?
I would say the orange bowl of Paul's that sits at 9 o'clock to the jack is the shot, because you can see that it looks like it's more level to the jack than the blue bowl of Alison's at 5.
Yeah.
So he's at least holding 1, and this could be a second if he's got the weight, but he's going to pull up. And we'll see what Linda says.
2.
2 orange. The forehand still looks fine to me.
Yeah. Well, you got that little shelf there to just sort of you
no.
can rest on, but no, she's going backhand. Oh no!
Ah, she listened to the commentary. Very good, Alison. She's played 3 good bowls nice enough bowls on the forehand, so it's not like it's a huge correction
No.
required. In the area, now it's down to the weight. Needs it to let go.
It's just going to hang all right round.
Sit down. Well, she may have cut that back.
Looks like 2.
2 there. 8-4 the score. Shaking her head a little there. I wonder if there was a miscommunication. I'm not sure what could possibly be miscommunicated.
No.
Like, it's not like you'd think that you were holding. It was pretty clear that she wasn't holding.
Yeah, I would have thought so. Yeah,
From
well,
think you could see that from 40 metres away. We can see it from the commentary booth, and that's further away than that.
yeah.
So 8-4 the score in the race to 21.
Yeah.
So like you said, solidifying on that little break that Paul got.
Yep. So all of a sudden that 3 becomes a 5 now, and it's just gives you that break that you want.
And easier to defend too, isn't it?
Yeah, look, singles is all about little bits of runs. I find you get on a run for 4 or 5 ends. If you can extend that.
Particularly if you're scoring, well, the moment you score more than 1 end, you're scoring against the throw, so to speak, to use a darts analogy, because bowls is designed that if you have last bowl, you're supposed to score. That's why we have our scoring system, is that you're at a disadvantage if you've scored.
For sure.
So if you can start breaking the opponent's throw and scoring when they have last bowl, it just becomes easier and easier to defend that number.
For sure. Do you remember when we played and you gave us the mat away?
I do, and that was very confusing.
Yeah.
How many years did that go for? It was a few years,
I
wasn't
want to
it?
say 3,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was interesting anyway, and everyone had their theory on which way was the best way to do it, and I was always of the fact just give it away.
Yeah, last bowl, thank you.
Last bowl, thank you. Very good bowl there from Alison. Yeah, it seems like so long ago, but it probably wasn't.
It wouldn't have been more than 10 years. It finished just before I started playing outdoor, but I
Yeah.
used to watch a bit of outdoor, and I got incredibly confused. It was a Bay of Plenty Champ of Champs or something, and I thought, I'll go watch someone I know. And they kept on scoring and going, and then I'd see they'd have last bowl. It's like, well, do I not know who's got what bowl. So I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do remember that rule. It's good that they tried something different. Probably ultimately a good decision to change it back to what
get
had
back.
worked.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you wouldn't want to be giving Ryan Best the last bowl every time,
No,
would you?
No. No, that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
So Allison's drawn one shot here.
Yeah.
Hasn't been able to draw a second, so Paul's got second, third. What do you think he'll be coming down to have a look at?
Well, he should be thinking he can arrive with a little bit of weight there, sit the bowl, maybe just enough to pop it through the gap for 3. If he trails the kitty, he's going to pick up 2 or 3 as well. So he wouldn't want to be super quick because he hasn't got the 2 backers, but yeah, you'd be looking to play a yard of weight here, I think.
Yeah, almost drawing to that the blue bowl of Allison's that sits at 7 o'clock to the jack.
For sure,
Clunk into stuff on the way through.
Yeah.
Worst case, you go from 1 down to 1 down if you're incredibly unlucky.
Indeed. That arm's going out to the
Yeah.
side there again.
So after he's let it go, it's interesting.
Yeah. Well, he's only trying to draw here.
Oh, I mean, that's 3 well-played bowls, and he could drop a 2.
Yes. Allison will want to make this one count.
Good line. Down to the weight. Oh, beautiful line.
Yeah, just... I noticed she sort of walked off the mat there, and that might have just lost her that little bit of weight that she needed there.
You see that quite a lot with last bowls, Because people they go, oh, I know I'm going to be walking after this, so they've already planned that they're going to walk after they let go of their bowl, and it all just flows.
Indeed, yeah. Yeah, it happens so often.
So 5-8 the score.
Now, of course, we've got some other finals being played.
Brilliant.
So I'll go and do an update there. So the men's pairs final between Nai and Island Bay. Nai is has Robbie Bird skipping that, and Island Bay. I know John Zeno's in there. And that's Island Bay are 4-2 up after 3 ends in that men's pairs final. And then the women's junior singles final. I've got a little bit of a vested interest in this one. And it's Lynette Campbell from Johnsonville 4-1 up over Stokes Valley's Lily Signal.
Deep breaths, Blake.
Yes, I'll be popping up every now and then just to make sure.
I think there's nothing quite as uniquely stressful as watching a family member play bowls.
Yes, indeed.
Been there and done that. I sat in the stands in 2010 when the Internationals was at Porirua and watched my mother play the singles, and she got through to the quarterfinals of the national singles and dropped I think a 3 or a 4 on the last end to lose.
Oh.
And it was stressful all the way through, and none of us enjoyed it,
No.
but
Yeah.
burned in the memory.
Yeah, look, I'm really proud of Lily. She's done fantastic this weekend. She made 3 events, semi-finals of 3 events, and got through to the final of this junior singles. And she's only in her 2nd year, so yeah, really, really proud of what she's doing with her bowls. It's all on her too. Like I told her, you don't really need to be playing bowls, but she goes, "No, I really love it." So. So it's really good to see.
When the decision is the person's, it's you get better stuff out of the whole thing, don't you? As we do see sometimes in bowls families. I think if anyone young is made to do a thing, that doesn't go brilliantly sometimes.
No, indeed, very much.
Good shot.
Yeah. They're still keeping with the very shorter length ends, aren't they?
Yeah, you just wonder, it'll be interesting to see if we ever do see it, but certainly something that's very easy to change in a game is to change the length of the jack that you're throwing or where you're placing the mat.
Yes.
And maybe if one of them gets it more than 3 or 4 behind and gets the jack back, we might see that change.
Yes.
Good bowl.
Wilson's drawn a shot there.
One red, which is Allison's bowl.
Yeah. So the last bowl there, the shot. Paul's just got to add a couple of feet on his last one. Doing very well for line here, though, aren't they? They've got.
There's a commentator's curse. They were.
They were.
They were, and they have been the entire game, to be fair. And that bowl's come back. It was more overplayed than anything.
It was.
So holding 1, looking to make it 2.
Doesn't look like it's got the same weight on this one. She's just going to pull up short again. Yes, very much, very good lines there.
It's interesting that Paul's making his way down.
Yeah, look,
At this.
there's not really much more than the draw shot here. Like, he could try and keep the same weight from the last bowl and try and get a turn on the shot bowl for 2, but there's plenty of room there for him to be able to just draw the shot.
On his forehand.
Forehand, yeah. Oh, he actually placed his left hand on his knee that time, which...
Oh, it's interesting just to keep a little eye on.
Yeah, it's pretty inconsistent, but he looked to have a lot more balance with that on his knee, and I wonder if it's something he knows he does.
He does, slips into, yeah.
So if he's watching this later on, which I'm sure he probably will jump on and have a watch, that's something for you to work on later.
So there you go, 6-8 is the score, race to 21. Under Rayner, under control. I think it's always clever, good nugget of advice is you write the score on the scoreboard when you're doing the walking, and that way you won't forget to do the scorecard if that's something that you do when you walk. Don't write it on the scorecard after you finish the walk up the rink because you run a real danger.
Yeah. Then you straighten the kitty and then something else goes on and next thing you've forgotten it totally. So yeah, definitely.
So the first thing you do is you're walking up. As long as you can read your writing, it's fine. So.
Yeah. I generally just put if it's 1, 2, 3, whatever on the left hand side, and I'll do the rest of it when I get down there. But at least I've got
a note,
a note of what it is. Well, we're sticking with the short ends.
Very short.
Yeah. Which is interesting because before, when they had the kitty up where the circles were, they had
that was a
table. Yeah, it was tea towel sort of material.
Paul following down. How's the weight? Yep, that's a nice bowl.
Lovely.
And for 1. So you've got your photographer's been running around this weekend. Alan?
Alan, yeah.
Alan, yeah.
Alan Galbraith.
Talk to me a bit about him and what he does for Bowls Wellington.
Alan Galbraith is absolutely fantastic. He does photography as a hobby, and he comes and sits and watches bowls all year long and takes photos and sends them through to me, and we're forever indebted to him for the work he does. He's absolutely fantastic at what he does. Absolutely brilliant. I'm really lucky to have a really good group of staff and volunteers that help out, and Ross Gillett, who's been working behind the scenes. He's a very good bowler in his own right, Ross, but he's been key to making sure that this event runs smoothly, organising the umpires and the cards, and absolutely fantastic. And we've got our helper Ron Wood, who does a lot of our tournament running and tournament management. So yeah, really lucky to have a group of staff and volunteers that do fantastic for us.
Certainly a bigger job than people, I think, who, if you've just played in tournaments, and it's usually a sign of a well-run tournament, is you actually don't notice the work that goes into it. If you don't notice the work, it's been a success. But that doesn't mean there's not hours and hours of work by lots of people to make that happen.
Indeed, yeah. Look, and Ross he's tirelessly busy making sure that these events go go running without any issue at all. And he's done another fantastic job this weekend. And unfortunately, we didn't have Brady to come and help us here this weekend, but he's another one that does a great job for Bowls Wellington, in a slightly different space. But yeah, he's a key member of our team, and really lucky to have those two on board and our tournament management volunteers.
Alison just opting just to try and dead draw the shot.
Yeah, and she's just pushed it out a touch wide there. Look at the weight on the 3 bowls there. They're really, really good weighted bowls.
4 well-played shots. The good thing for Paul is that the 2 bowls to the right are sitting flat, so he's actually safe enough to draw it on the backhand if he felt like it.
Yeah. There goes that hand out. Yep.
Yeah.
And looks like he just gets a little off balance when he does that.
Yeah. Interesting.
It
So
is.
it'll be 1 to Paul. 9-6 the score on the race to 21.
Yeah,
Tight game.
very much.
Paul just holding on to that little lead, probably courtesy. Look where the mat's been placed here.
Yeah.
Goodness.
It's almost like they're not wanting to kick the bowls
Can't be
back.
bothered
and they're
moving the
just-
bowls.
and They're just chucking the mat wherever the bowls are. And to be fair, when you're in front, why do anything different? So he's sort of keeping that same length. And as I say that, he throws the kitty a bit longer.
That's their welcome to commentary. So on his forehand, watch the left arm. Yeah, on the knee. Oh, and then off the knee.
But off the knee.
So maybe it's afterwards. It might be fine for the actual delivery, and then when he's watching his bowl, maybe the balance goes a little.
Yeah.
I was saying in the women's triples semi-final that we broadcast, it's actually brilliant to have footage of yourself playing bowls, because often we get into these habits, and by definition a delivery feels natural, even if you're doing things that aren't good. It actually, if you asked people how it felt, like, oh, my delivery feels fine, and it's often not until we see ourselves on video that we go, huh, that might be a work on, and then you have to iron the habit out until it feels like it's just part of your natural routine.
For sure. Look, over the course of a season, you pick up little habits and they become the norm, and you don't even realise you've picked up on some of those habits. And yeah, it's always key to have a watch of yourself on video. When I was in the high performance squad, I always made sure I videoed myself once a week. Just made sure I looked at it, sent it to my coaches, and they if they could notice anything different. But yeah, look, it's an invaluable tool, and I actually mentioned to Lily at lunch that she needs to watch it later tonight and just have a look at her delivery and see what she's doing well and what she could improve upon.
Yeah, it's just handy stuff, and it doesn't have to. We've moved away as a sport from, and all sports moved away from prescribing a this is the way it must be done system. So there's no perfect delivery, because everyone's all different shapes and sizes. So if you look like Peter Bellis, that's a perfect delivery for you. If you're tall and lanky and can do that.
Yep.
But if you look like someone else, it's not the perfect delivery. So it's just the basics, isn't it? You want to be stable. Your shoulders should be square if you can get them square. Your hand should be following through in the direction the bowl's going. Just all these sort of basics to tick off and work backwards from there.
Yeah, I always say this to anyone that I do coaching with. It's you will just want to be able to repeat your delivery over and over and over again. You do the same thing. It's easier to make adjustments. It's when you're doing something different that those adjustments come in. And let's face it, bowls is a game of adjustments.
So Alison opting to play the forehand. She said, well, Linda said 1, maybe 2 light here.
This is a little tighter than they've been coming in. If she's got the weight, though, she might just hang around.
Needs to hit a straight. Now, some bowls have been sitting against the bias as they try and go across the centre line, so it's not horrible to be tight at 9-0, but certainly didn't have the weight there to get anything out of that bowl.
Yeah, and Paul might be a bit hesitant now to play that backhand.
2.
Still 2.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what hand he does decide to play here. Backhand easier to move the bowl than the forehand. I suppose if you take a nice wide arc, you're safe anyway. Very close.
Or just... Well, might have
lovely
just
effort.
pulled off.
And for Allison, it's just about essentially you draw to the centre of the circle that you can see on your screen, on whichever hand you feel like drawing to the centre of the circle on, and you should be fine.
Yeah,
Clunk into one of the blue bowls, probably 3 rolls to get the shot.
indeed. Well, she only probably needs a foot on her last to be the shot, so... A
Now-
little bit wider.
Yeah, look, she's willing it to turn. Adjusted 2 things. Fair effort, but it's going to be a couple to Paul. So he'll continue just to extend that little lead he's got.
Yeah, and there's that 5, you see. You pick those 2 ends up, and that 5 can sometimes stick with you for the whole game. Yeah, she's not giving away anything yet.
They'll measure the Allison's bowl first.
She's very much like me. I'll measure anything. I
Yeah,
don't
fair
care.
enough.
Kearney used to hate it when I get the measure out of my pocket and measure something. He'd be, no, it's only 1. Sorry, Kearney, I'm getting my tape out.
No, he'd say, and he would say that if it was 2, to be fair. Oh, so
That looked like it was only 1, didn't it?
he's just figuring out which is her closest bowl. There we go. I
Oh,
was a bit
okay.
confused. 2.
2.
Yeah, so that makes it
11-6.
11-6, which is what we've got on the scoreboard. And that mat all the way up, sort of almost halfway. So the Wellington Centre have had how would you describe your season? Blake, how's it gone for you guys?
Oh, look, it's been a fantastic season for Wellington. You know, we've hosted some of the biggest events in New Zealand Bowls this year, which we've been most appreciative of. The Trans-Tasman was fantastic. Maybe a little bit windy, but such is life. I think the Aussies didn't like it more than what we didn't, and I'm okay with that. And then obviously the National Winter Centre, which was played in absolutely fantastic conditions. We were very, very lucky to, well, not lucky I suppose, we were very happy to take out the title in the men's for the 2nd year in a row. And yeah, look, overall, I think, you know, we've seen steady numbers in our events throughout the year, and just a real positive vibe amongst a lot of the bowlers in Wellington. And we're going through our tournament review at the moment, and that's where club players and clubs can put in their 2 cents and tell us what needs fixing. And you know, we didn't have a huge amount that people were complaining about. We had a lot of pats on the back, I suppose, for some of the stuff that we've been doing this year. So that's always nice to get.
Do you still play? Is there something stars, like a stars event that's to do with like a triangle on the ground or
Diamond buckle.
diamond? Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
Although if I say enough words, it'll make sense.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's definitely still one of it's a popular midweek event for those that are retired. We have, I'm trying to think, it's the diamond buckles for the men and the diamond buttons for the ladies.
Yeah, and it dates back quite some way, doesn't it? Like it's not.
Yes.
I think I looked it up once. Someone must have asked me a question.
1930s.
Yeah, I
wanna
had
say.
20s or 30s, so
Yeah.
you're nearing 100 years on that, which is quite
We
impressive.
are, and that's something, you know, I'll have to have a look at that actually. And when it is 100 years, we'll make a bit of a song and dance about it. But yeah, look, it's It probably doesn't attract quite as many teams as we used to have once upon a time, but it's still played amongst about 10 or 12 clubs on a
cool.
regular basis each year, and it's on a challenge basis too. So if your club's holding it, you get challenged by my club, and we turn up at your place and play. And
it's cool to see those events, because that was the original, before we had national events or all that sort of stuff. That's what bowls largely was at a competitive level, is clubs would literally challenge for someone who was well known in the community, would gift a club something, and then you'd challenge for them, and that's how it worked. So it's nice to see that it's still going in Wellington.
For sure, yeah. Look, and there's just I remember doing a little bit of research on a trophy that Karori and Wilton play for, and they've got a fantastic shield.
I've seen that.
You've seen that shield? Yeah, look, it's absolutely incredible shield, and that was gifted to play a challenge amongst different clubs in the lower North Island, I think, and it's now become a Karori bowling club, who were on the brink of extinction probably 4 years ago,
yes,
and have boosted their numbers up with the football club out there. And Wilton, and Wilton are doing really well with players too.
Great
at the
to
moment,
see.
So.
Looking just to push up.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely weight. A foot wide, you've been underneath that short bowl that sits at a 10 o'clock to the jack, and anything could happen there for Alison.
Yep, there were a lot of options for her there, and it was a right weight, just a touch wide there.
Well, so I'm sure the mat's getting
shorter,
further and further up. So just the one. 12-6 the score. 9 shots to go for Paul.
I talked before about Brady and the work with youth. He does a lot of work with our youth in Wellington, and in June we're running the under 26 five-a-side national event. So it's we've got teams from all around the country coming to play in Wellington in a five-a-side competition, and just like to announce our Wellington team, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, go for your life.
So our team 1 is going to be skippered by newly capped blackjack Finbar McGuigan, followed by Jordan Keane, who won 2 titles here this weekend. James Cameron Powell, the big man himself, is making a return to bowls this year. James McMillan, who won the 1 to 5 singles this year, and Lily Signal is a girl in the team 1, and then team 2 is actually going to be captained by Brady Amer, who's still only 23 years old, I think, so I forget how young he is sometimes. We have Jaden Burns, Marshall Kenny, Grayson Wakefield, and Shavana Williams, who won the mixed pairs.
Yes, Brian.
Yeah, so we're really proud to have those 10 represent Wellington in that event, and we've got Taranaki, Canterbury, Dunedin, Auckland, Wairarapa, and a mixed North Island combined side. So that's going to be played Matariki weekend.
Oh, great stuff.
I believe you guys are coming to film it for us.
Yeah, it should be a good time, and look forward to that. Nice to have these events on the Bowls calendar.
Yeah, look, it's a good little event. We ran it last year for the first time, and Taranaki took it out with their star-studded side. I know a couple of our guys are pretty keen to try and get it back and win it for the home side. So, yeah, really looking forward to seeing how that goes over that weekend.
Always good to have some rivalry, isn't there?
Indeed, yeah.
What are you going to say, Linda?
Well, I reckon the last poll's...
Oh, it's a measure. On his forehand then. If you roll up one of your bowls, you're fine. If you find the gap, you'll probably be okay too. This is a good bowl. Clean run. Surely you wouldn't get bogged. Oh, that's a bit stiff.
Oh,
3 nice bowls from Paul, and he could be 1 down. Now, how much is this bowl going to turn?
wow, that's definitely shot, isn't it?
I would say so. I think Paul still will be on the forehand, right? You know, you've got
Oh.
three bowls that are low on the forehand side, so you just visualise drawing a little bit past the jack, and anything that happens on the way through is happy days.
Yeah, any contact on the front 3, you'd be pretty unlucky not to get shot there.
On the forehand, yep, there we go.
Oh, he didn't like it when he let it go.
Oh, he's going to miss the target.
Just pushed it wide.
He's missed everything, and look at that reaction. Oh, reasonably calm.
Yeah.
But he'll be frustrated at that. I think all the things weren't quite right. Like, I'm not sold if he needed that weight, Blake.
He's probably a little quicker than I would have wanted to see him play, but look, if he'd made contact with that weight, his bowl probably would have followed through for the shot.
Yeah, for one. Yeah.
So, Alison now, if she can draw a toucher, she'll make 3 of it. She looks like she's just gone a bit wide too.
This is where you get punished. So she's missed her line there, and on another rink, her bowl may have turned back in a little bit more than that. But because she's missed her line and it's on that ditch side, you just hold. So you do just get punished a bit for missing, but I wouldn't say it's the end of the world.
No, definitely not. Oh, and she's taken the mat back a bit further.
1. Nice of Paul to do the measuring.
While Paul's measuring, we'll just do a update of the scores around the ground.
Thank you.
So the women's junior singles, Lynette Campbell from Johnsonville is 10, Lily Signal 7. And in the men's pairs, we have Island Bay 8-4 up after 5.
Goodness. In the Island Bay, I see John Zeno is in that team. Is that correct?
Yeah, John Zeno's in that team, and he's playing with... where are we? John Zeno is playing with John Thompson. I should have known that.
One of the veterans of bowls in Wellington, isn't he, John? The Zeno name.
Yep, John's been around for a long time, and he still plays a very good bowl. He's still finding himself. He was in 3 events himself here this weekend, so it tells you that he can still bowl.
I think if you play any of the Zenos, you do so with a great deal of trepidation, isn't the word I'm looking for, but you certainly wouldn't take a Zeno as someone not to watch out for. Whole family.
His oldest son, Stephen, is an extremely talented bowler, but unfortunately just can't play every weekend at the moment. He's got work commitments most Sundays, I think he told me. So it's a little bit unfortunate because he's got a lot of talent, and it would have been great to see him be able to play a bit more.
I suppose the cool thing about our game, as we talk about often, is it's not like we age out of the sport.
Yes.
So if you've got the ability, you can afford to have a period of time where perhaps you can't play quite so much, and you're still there waiting to come back to.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, well, I always make the call that I was lucky enough to win a world title, but I won it with a 60-year-old, and there's not many sports you can do that with. And sorry, Kearney.
People who can count will be figuring out the...
Yeah.
Look at that little hold. Oh,
He's probably
I
wiggled,
think he's done it here. He's made it
wiggled
one.
his way through there for one.
Wonder we'll just investigate. Yeah. Saying you're one down. And Allison on the back end. Not far away. This is very close.
This is a very good shot here. Did she have enough weight to push it past?
I don't think she did, based on this camera angle. Paul, not even asking. Suppose it doesn't change your shot. Right, how's the weight?
He's not bad here, I think. In fact, he's very good here.
That's beautiful bowl.
It is.
As good a bowl as you'll see. You can
Well, it just takes all of Alison's options on that backhand away now, and she's going to have to be on that forehand as well.
just checking that she was 2 down.
Oh, and she is still playing the backhand.
Interesting. Must be looking to
Yeah.
punch one of those bowls up.
Yeah. It needs to start breaking. Oh, it's a fairly good effort.
Don't think she could have played that much better. You know, you would have had to play a really, really good bowl to get the shot on the backhand side.
Indeed.
So holding 2. Important that Paul adds this bonus. Want to add a little bit of salt to the wound when you're in this situation. On a wider arc.
Yeah, I don't see that coming back.
I agree. I think his weight looks like it was finished at level with the jack, so his weight's okay. He just pushed it out.
Yeah.
It's going to be 2 to Paul, so 14-8 the score. So his equation is 7 more shots to win the title.
Indeed.
See the people watching on.
Yeah, Ross Thorne there in the background. He's a stalwart of Wellington Bowls. Was a selector and he was the selector that picked Wellington's first ever inter-centre winning team. That was back in 2009.
Now you guys have gone back to back, which is you've joined a pretty small group of centres that have achieved that. I think Otago, Taranaki, Canterbury, you. There might be a miscellaneous
Yeah, I'm not sure of
fourth,
anyone
but
else.
it's rare to see a back-to-back inter-centre winning side and a chance to go for the three-peat next year, Blake.
Indeed, and that's I know the guys in the team. That's our big goal. You know, like absolutely wrapped to win it the second time, but now we want to create a bit of a dynasty and really try and hold on to these. Hold on to that trophy for as long as we can.
Yep.
And I think only 2 teams have ever done the three-peat. Otago in the mid-90s, maybe.
Yeah,
and
when they were busy with they essentially had a team of New Zealand players.
Yep, and then and Canterbury in the late 90s, early 00s, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we can, you know, we've definitely got a target on our back, but you know we're pretty keen to try and do that three-peat, and I know I'm going to be working hard to do my best to be in the team and then get that title again.
Cool for the sport, isn't it? And I think representing your centre is pretty special. Is it sort of people that you've got quite a close connection with your centre? We play bowls in our centre and in our clubs all the time. It's what our season is for. So to be able to do that for Wellington must be pretty special.
Yeah, we've got a really good culture within our group. You know, we're a squad of 10 for most of the year, and any one of that 10 could be in that final 7 team. And this year, you might have seen that we did a bit of a rotation in our forwards, so we're actually a true team of 8 over the course of the inter-centre this year for the men. But Mike Carroll and Rod Leach have really done a good job in creating a culture where we have a voice and we're responsible for our actions right throughout. So they've created a really good team culture, and we play for each other. And that, I think that shows quite a lot of the time.
Oh, well, not quite in. So Paul holding the shot. Backhand. Yeah, I don't mind the backhand here for Paul. It's been pretty steady bowls from both of these players in this over 60s final, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. To be fair, this is probably the worst head we've seen in the game. They've had some fantastic heads. It's amazing. One bowl on the other side of the rink there, and they've all shied away from continuing on that hand, which they've been playing really, really well. So this has a chance.
Needs to go square through the jack and not get a slice of hell, and she hasn't. That's a very good bowl. Very good bowl. It's going to be 1 to Allison. 9-14 the score.
She needs to string a few ends together here.
Yes,
and,
yeah.
If I was her, I'd be changing the length. She sort of continues to play that shorter length, which Paul is not. He's sort of enjoying himself.
Yeah, the challenge for Allison is that she's not been within the 3 for the duration of this game. Paul got in front by that sort of 3-shot buffer and has kept 3 or more since then. So she, as you say, she needs to probably go 3 ends in a row to sort of get that deficit back, or she'll find that he'll get to 21 and she might get to 15 or 16. You know, you need to just sort of find a way to turn it around just a little bit.
Yep, definitely.
Nice bowl. Well, it's a good way to start doing that.
It is.
Lovely first bowl. Reasonable weight.
He's very good for weight. He's actually had good weight coming this way for most of the game.
Oh,
just going to pull up there, isn't she?
She knew the moment she let that go that it wasn't quite there.
Well, that's a very good line for his bolt.
Yeah, finishing nicely. Yeah, be happy with that.
Yeah, it sort of ran a bit further away than I thought it was going to.
Just right at the tail end. Allison now stalking after this one. When's it going to stop bogging on the bowl? Oh, slip past. What are the chances?
You know, you get that a quarter inch tighter and you're laying there for shot, aren't you?
Yeah. Fine margins for sure.
Paul's in the zone again here.
I think he needs his bowl just to hold just a smidgen. Yeah, good bowl. Well played.
Yes. I've been very impressed with his weight control in this game. He seems to have had very good weight, especially going away from us, actually, isn't it?
Being zoned in.
Yeah.
Just asking Linda what the situation is.
Probably looks like 2. Don't know. You'd want to be reaching if you're Allison here, though. 2 down, yeah. You know, sit the kiddie or sit the bowl, and you're going to be holding 2.
On the back end, the track's not bad. How's the weight?
Is she here?
Needs to... oh, no, she's not.
That was a fantastic line.
You can see the frustration there in Allison. And a real chance for another bonus here from Paul to leap to a 17-9 lead.
Indeed.
Not sure about that one. It looks like it's on the high side to me.
Definitely.
So it will be a 2 there for Paul. And 16-9 is the score in this race to 21 shots. And something needs to happen if you're a Alison Stacey supporter. Something needs to happen in this game for her to find a way back in.
Yes, definitely. She really wants to. She really needs to string together a couple of ends at least, just to see if she can claw that back. There is plenty of time though. To race to 21.
Oh, you have to get. That's the beauty about the singles game, isn't it? Is you actually do have to. You usually have to play a shot to get to the 21 shot. So
Indeed.
you need to have that metal just to finish it off.
Yep, and it can be the hardest shot in game of bowls to get that last one.
A lot of stories about people getting stuck on 20 shots.
Yep.
I can remember my first year of outdoor bowls. I needed to win this game to qualify in the centre singles, and I was 16-2 down, and I clawed my way back to be 20-17 up, and I dropped a 4 to lose.
Oh.
I was thrilled about it, Blake. It was a great day. It's been 10 years and it still hurts a little bit.
Don't worry, we've all dropped 4s to lose games.
Oh, look, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's one of the things here. Singles is unique in the way that the pressure ebbs and flows with the numbers.
Indeed. I dropped 7 shots and 2 ends to lose a national singles final one year, so
Bowls is dumb.
it is dumb at times.
Unless you win. When you win it, it's great.
Yeah, well, Dean Elgar thought it was fantastic that day.
Solid. So this jack right on the 2 metre mark, which I don't recall us seeing
Nope. I don't
yet
think
in
we
this
have.
game. The mat's still well up, which is where Paul's been placing it, but he's throwing the jack a bit longer to go with it.
Yeah. Alison had good weight with her first one, but yeah, she's got a show here.
Very close. Oh, lovely try.
Yeah. Well, with some of the results this weekend, it sort of made some of our extra awards this year finalised. So I can now finalise that the Women's Club of the Year for Bowls Wellington, result-wise this is, that goes to the Johnsonville ladies, who have had
brilliant.
a fantastic season, really deserved. I don't think there's too many events they haven't won this year, to be honest with you. They've been in the final of almost everything and really deserve to win Club of the Year for the women. And then I'll stick my chest out a little bit and say Stokes Valley were able to clinch the Men's Club of the Year this year. I don't think I helped a hell of a lot in that, but you know, we've had some fantastic performances. Finbar, McGuekin, Mike Carroll, Caleb Hope, and Jordan Keane, who's been outstanding this year for us. So really, really happy for our club. We missed out on it last year, but yeah, to get it this year, it's good.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And then Player of the Year, Karen Guilford won the champion singles yesterday, which cemented her place as the winner of Wellington's Ladies Player of the Year. So she ended up with 170 points.
I don't know how the point system works. That sounds like a lot of points, 170.
It's a decent amount, but close behind her was Dale Rayner and Paula Meredith, who had 120 points. So you get a lot of points for winning a national title. And Paula didn't win a national title, but won, I think, 4 events this year in Wellington Bowls.
Goodness gracious.
She's had an absolutely stellar year.
Right, it's a great 3.
The Men's Player of the Year, still not decided. It's all dependent on the Champion of Champion Pairs final, which Robbie Bird is in second place at the moment to Mike Carroll. Mike Carroll's on 75 points. Robbie Bird is on 52. If he wins the pairs, he will leapfrog Mike. If he loses the pairs, he will come in at second place. And Jordan Keane, who I mentioned earlier, he's going to take out third spot for that Player of the Year for the men.
Well, that's quite exciting. Does Robbie know the state of play?
Robbie is well aware of the state of play, and he's currently 11-6 down at the moment after 8.
Oh, I can report. I can see John Zeno's bowl, essentially a front toucher off the front.
Yes,
You can see John just to the right on your screen there, the man in the white flat top hat. I'm going to watch his delivery, if you'll excuse me, a moment of distraction, because if anyone's seen him play indoor bowls, he's got a very interesting delivery, and I'm intrigued to see how his outdoor delivery goes. Hurry up, John.
he's not the quickest player.
Ball, yeah, you can just see John just to the right of your screen there. It's like he knows. Yeah, so he's
Right on the corner of the mat. And great shot here from Paul Cavey.
lovely bowl from Paul.
He's decided he wants to finish it up in this end, I think, Paul. I'll just do an update in the women's junior singles, and that is now 12 all. 12-12 between Lynette Campbell of Johnsonville and Lily Signal of Stokes Valley.
Very close game developing over there as well, Blake.
Yes, very much. I'm not nervous at all.
No, you don't seem it. Oh, look at this here from Alison. Square onto that one. One more roll.
One more. I think that's enough.
I would say it's enough.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Lovely bowl.
Yes, very much.
So Paul on the backhand, chasing after it. He'll be thinking, oh, in a perfect world, I just tuck the jack around the corner for 3, had a bonus for 4, and I've won this over 60 singles title. Well, here's around the corner for... Oh, no, it's not. No.
It's still a fantastic
Like,
bowl.
it's a great shot. He's got a bowl on for 4 now.
He does.
What would you play if you were Alison here?
Oh, look. She just played a really good bowl on the forehand, didn't she? So, but to me, I'd be looking to play Paul's shot on the backhand here, but she isn't.
Logic being you going with it, so you guarantee you're not going to drop a 3 or a 4 to lose.
Exactly. And I don't think she's got the weight here. And she's given Paul an opportunity to hold game. If he can trail it, that probably only needs to trail it 1/4 of a foot.
He, the way he's played his last 2 bowls, I would not bet against him sitting with a 4 after this one.
I wouldn't bet against him either.
No, he's looked those 3 bowls beautifully played, all in the zone.
Yeah. And when you play a shot like this, you just got to play to that zone and hope that your natural judgment is kicked in. He's not a mile
Interesting.
away.
How's the weight? It's interesting. What a bowl this would be to sit with a win in a singles match if he just moves the jack at all. Not enough.
Oh,
Can you imagine not moving the jack enough?
it's unreal.
That's unbelievable. Oh,
Well, Alison's got to be very careful here.
yeah.
Any contact on the front bowl and you're game over.
What a bowl that was from Paul.
Yeah. Alison's just a little bit wide there.
Way to miss it, I suppose.
Yeah.
You're going to see Paul on the right on the precipice now of this win.
Yeah. Did he move it enough for 3, do you reckon?
I've put 3 on the scoreboard. He deserved a 3. I mean, he literally drew a toucher, and we thought, well, any movement on the jack is good, but he only moved it about...
I said a quarter of a foot, and he probably moved an eighth of a foot.
Unbelievable. Oh, surely, I mean, he deserved 3.
Oh, she's going to make him measure it. Umpire.
Oh, fair enough, because they're both standing. And it's good that the umpires have something to do. Introduce us to this umpire.
Yeah, well, this is Kath Thompson, and she's one of our most helpful umpires in Wellington. She's always keen to put her hand up and help out whenever we've got events on. She does a fantastic job. She goes to all the national events, and she does a fantastic job. She's a really good bowler herself. A couple of years ago, she was in the final of a flurry of events, and she's fantastic. And helping her today is Alison Stewart from Island Bay, who is also, she's a newer umpire, I think, but she's doing a fantastic job.
What a great camera work that was from Colin to get Kath Thompson on the broadcast. He's in an annoying place. I can't look around and see if he's paying any attention in the broadcast booth. But Kath here, you can see wearing the Bowls New Zealand U umpires apparel, and she's chocked those bowls. So that's why they call the umpire, isn't it, Blake? Because when they stand up on that slight angle, if you just if you tap it, it might not be so good.
Yes, no, for sure. Look, so many bowlers.
3.
Orange. Yeah. It was 3. Yes, it's very important to chock bowls when they are standing up like that, and some get in precarious positions, I suppose. So, it never hurts chocking a bowl and getting the umpire to measure. I'm one of those players that gets the umpire if I'm not sure very much quickly.
So Paul's on 20. I've never been brave enough, Blake, but I always consider on the rare occasion where I find myself actually this many shots up in a game of singles and I'm on 20, I think, what would happen if I just pulled the mat right up to the tee, delivered the jack to the 2 metre and just went jack in the ditch and shook hands?
Yep, I've had that happen to me in a game of bowls. Riker Gregory did that to me in a game, but look,
I've always chickened out, because it just seems like the risk, it doesn't feel like it's worth the reward there for me, but always it crosses my mind briefly.
Well, I think there's nothing wrong with doing it maybe with your first bowl, and if you miss out, you've got to consolidate with the next 3. But, I mean, you've also gotten to a position where you're 11 shots up here. You've got to back yourself.
So why not just let it go?
Yeah, keep it going.
I do think it's interesting. I think in the team games, like 2020 cricket changed Test match cricket a little bit. Just it tweaked it a little bit with what people do. I think the rise of the BPL format and UBC and Bowls 3-5, I think that's going to I think it's going to tweak the way we play our traditional game. I think we're going to see more aggression, or we're beginning to see more aggression from our leads and twos, whereas in the past it was all about positional play, whereas now we tend to be more aggressive. It's been interesting to watch over the last few years.
Yeah, look, I've spent sort of 7 years in Australia, and my adaptation to their style of play had to happen really quickly. They are so much more aggressive, and now with streaming, and you get to watch bowls all the time now on YouTube and Facebook, and you'll see that more and more players start playing that a little bit more aggressive. They're just they've got the greens in Australia to be that little bit more aggressive too. They're a little bit more holding, and
so the percentages are there, aren't they?
They are.
Just play those shots.
Yeah. But definitely with the advent of the streaming and that, you'll see New Zealanders still play quite conservative, I've found, since I've come back. But yeah, the Aussies have a lot of things going for them in the way that they attack the game. And they're not afraid to sell out either. You know, we play bowls, and quite often we're scared to give away a shot, whereas the Aussies, if they give away a shot, they'll pick it back the next time.
Yeah, such as life. Yeah. and continuing to play with that confidence as we see two really good bowls here from Alison Stacey.
Yeah, she's going to fight for her.
Interesting to see Paul on the backhand. I suppose if he gets his weight perfect.
Well, if he touches this wing bowl,
Look at this.
he
Two
might-
rolls. Oh, he had the weight. That would
that
have rolled it in for the shot.
Yes.
I was here clapping. I don't know what it means.
Oh,
Someone played a good bowl somewhere.
yes.
So Alison looking to make it 3, work your way into double figures. And the way back for Alison now is you literally can't afford to not score on an end. And it
Yes.
doesn't matter if it's 1s, 2s, 3s or 4s, but you have to be scoring every end until either you win or you don't.
Yeah. And as a singles player, I've always found that the players you play against will fight that little bit harder in that last, because they play without that fear, I suppose, when they've got a score. You know,
Yeah, well, it's do or stop at this point, isn't it?
it is, yeah. So, yeah. Just like to mention also, we've got a fantastic community in Bowls Wellington, and part of that is that we want to try and keep bowlers active over the winter months. So we've actually got a Bowls Wellington race day. We're lucky to have Des Coppins, who's a New Zealand racing personality, and one of the board members at Wellington Racing Club, and he's helped us organise a day on June the 13th.
Oh, brilliant.
Which is Steeplechase Day at Trentham, and we're looking to sell tickets to that event. Last year we had about 70 people turn up, and they had an absolute fantastic day. We have a punters club and 2-course meal, first drink on the house, and a dedicated room for us and access to the track for the races. So if you're looking for something to do over the winter, book down June 13 for Wellington Steeplechase Day. Everything's been sent out to the clubs about that, and you can also contact us at Bowls Wellington for more information.
So you just talk to your club secretary, and if that doesn't work, you go to the Tree to Bowls Wellington. It sounds like a great day.
Yeah, look, it's really good, and we're lucky to have someone like Des Coppins who's really passionate about bowls and passionate about racing. And you know, I don't know about in Auckland, but in Wellington there are a lot of bowlers that love the GGs.
There's absolutely a crossover, I would say.
Yep. So definitely would love to hear from you. It's also a great way for clubs to thank their volunteers and supporters by booking a table. And I know Stokes Valley, I think they've booked a table to do something similar like that, just to thank some of their key
nice
sponsors.
gesture, isn't it?
It is,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's something that we do at Bowls Wellington too. We book a table for our sponsors and let them come along and enjoy a great day. And hopefully make some money.
So Alison on the backhand. She is fighting hard to stay in this. She's played 2 beautiful bowls.
Yep.
Oh, they're hard to beat.
It's interesting that Kitty's back in that little circle where she played really good early in the game.
Almost like the default weight. This is going to be unlucky.
Oh, she was all over it if
It was
it
well
missed.
played. So Paul on the backhand. Just let that one go okay. Still tracking out. There we go. Oh, no, maybe not. Didn't play that poorly, Paul. That was nicely weighted.
Definitely. You are.
Nothing's changed. So Alison on the back end, looking to make it 3. I don't think we'll see it, but this might be where you chase your last bowl up, Blake. If you're in Alison.
Yeah, I would never chase my last bowl. I always sit back and pick up the mat.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the mat. I forget about that, and then I get looked.
Generally, I like to follow my third bowl. I won't do it every time, but I know players that religiously follow their third bowl, just so they can gauge what they're going to do with that last one.
Yeah. So every last bowl that Paul plays until it's the end is going to be a potential winning bowl.
Is it going to hold here for the kitty?
Is this going to be it?
Oh, is he going
He's
to wiggle
following
up?
through.
No.
Oh, great effort.
Wow.
Not going to be quite enough.
Two there, do you reckon?
Oh, I think it's one. I think the orange bowl at 2 o'clock has just snuck in for a second shot.
Right.
If he had been a quarter of a bowl wider, the game's over.
Game's over, yeah. I thought it was going to hold for a second there.
It looked like it was going to. For all money. Oh, it was a 2.
Or was it two?
Well, interesting. So 13-20.
Do you start getting a little nervous now if you're Paul?
It's such a fascinating, singles is such a fascinating game. You're thinking, oh, I've now been on 20 for 2 ends and I've dropped a 3 and a 2, or was it 2 2s in that time?
2 2s, yeah.
Don't want to leave it hanging for too long. Don't want to forget what it's like to score a shot. I think Allison a little short of what you would have liked to be there.
Yep.
You identified well, Blake. I think Allison's best length seems to be literally in the middle of the faded target area that you can see.
Yep.
Linda Rayner forgetting to straighten the jack. There we go.
We'll let Linda off. She's had a busy day
She
today.
has.
So. We'll just go around the ground, and we have in the men's pairs final Island Bay still in front here, 13-7 after 10 ends. And in the women's junior singles, I'm not yeehaing, but Stokes Valley are 14 and Johnsonville 12. 15-12 now, sorry, I've just been informed. So...
deep breaths.
Yes. It's actually really cool that it's between Lynette and Lily in that game, because they were pairs partners last weekend in the reps, and that was Lily's first time in the junior rep team, so she's playing with her teammate.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Well, Allison started good.
Has this game got another twist in its tail left? Because Allison the last 3 ends has looked like the one likely to continue to score, to be fair. And that first bowl again, really close. Second bowl not so good.
No.
Could block the backhand or encourage the backhand, depending.
Yeah,
I'd be on the backhand here.
I would too.
And so would Paul. So that's all 3 of us, Blake. Just because if you do miss, you've got a pocket to rest on. Where you miss by that amount on the forehand, you're playing a shot to nothing there.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to get a little whack. No.
Oh,
That would have been interesting. But
Gotta
now
put-
he's got himself a lovely back bowl. That
Yeah.
was good weight. Maybe a touch quick, but yeah, still set himself up to be able to play with a little bit more weight now if needed. Well, Allison's just dropped a little short again. Well, I think Paul won't take too much weight off here. I think he'll continue with that sort of...
Mhm. Not far away.
Or he might just try and draw it.
He's not far away. Well, what a bowl.
Wow.
What a bowl to sit on the win.
Yes.
I wouldn't have been that brave. Amazing. So what's Ellen's...
Oh, Allison,
goodness gracious.
she's sort of got to follow him down, doesn't she? Oh, I don't know, looking at that angle.
Kill?
I don't know if she's got the weight for the kill.
I think you'd almost try and chip the orange ball out, and if you kill it, it's okay. But
Yeah. Well, she's not a mile away from that line if she's got the weight.
she finds this little straightener somewhere. This is beautiful.
No, she doesn't have the weight. And we have a winner.
Not going to be there. And congratulations to Paul on his win. Thank you for joining me in the commentary booth, Blake. I'll give you a moment. Is there anything you want to say as the CEO of Bowls Wellington now that we've reached the conclusion of this broadcast of your finals weekend?
No, look, I just like to thank Bowls New Zealand for coming up and putting this on for us. You know, it's absolutely fantastic to be able to showcase our players throughout the country and showcase our sport, I suppose. And congratulations to all the winners over the course of the weekend. And obviously, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers who are out there. And thank you very much for having me.
Brilliant. Thanks, Blake. And just in closing, if you are looking to find results for this Bowls Wellington Champions of Champions, or this, the Fox Plan? Fox Plan?
Fox Plan Bowls
That's
Wellington.
the word, yeah, Fox Plan. Got there. Last little weekend, falling apart at the end. If you want to find results, they're available on the Bowls Wellington website and Facebook page. There's a Google Doc sheet there that has everything that you could ever want in regards to results. Congratulations to all the winners. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
In the UK, there's a bowl for every surface for the Henselite product. Here overseas, I use the Tiger 2 and I use the Dreamline XG purely because I love the grip and the arc that the bowl takes, and that's what makes me one of the best players in the world.